Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska football head coach Matt Rhule spoke to the media about a variety of different topics. One of those topics was the stadium environment in Boulder.
I say it because this is exactly what I'm saying to the team. I'm saying, like, make it football, right? Like, all that's what it is, right? But it's still going to come down to blocking and tackling. And, you know, I think they went down to TCU last week, and while everyone thought it was, you know, going to be all this stuff, they played football. They went out there, they caught the ball, they played good football, and they won the game. So, like, we're just going to try to make it football. Like, we're lucky we had, unfortunately, the loss last week, but we had it was game one of the season, and the other team did a goal out. Like, how often does that happen in the first game of the year, right? So, like, we recognize every game we play in, every game the Nebraska Cornhuskers in is going to be a big game. And so for a team to do that in the first game of the year, it was really, really loud. I thought, you know, Minnesota had a great student section. Obviously, a lot of our mistakes happened down in their student section, which was unfortunate for us. We have to learn from that. But last week happened maybe to prepare us for this week, you know, or maybe prepare us for the future. But we'll be a significantly better team after these first 2 weeks of being on the road in these two environments when we come back home and then when we go on the road late in the year. But in terms of preparing them for it, it's football. Like, if we can't lock in and just play football, then, you know, nothing I say will matter. You know, it's the pregame pageantry, all that stuff. That'll all be over. It'll be football once the game kicks off.
More from Coach Rhule later on in the show. Yesterday, Nebraska Volleyball took on Kansas State down in Manhattan, Kansas. They continued their undefeated season as they swept the Wildcats 25-21, 25-15, and 25-19. The Huskers have yet to drop a set this season. The AVCA volleyball poll also came out today. Wisconsin held on to the #1 spot with Louisville right behind. Florida jumped up 5 spots to 3rd after victories over Stanford and Minnesota. The Huskers stayed put at 4th, and Stanford dropped to 5th to round out the top 5. The Nebraska soccer team also played K-State and won their 5th straight game by a score of 4-0 last night, thanks to 2 goals from Eleanor Dale. It's the first time since 2000 that the Huskers are undefeated through the first 6 games of the season. There's one college football game tonight at 7. 9th-ranked Clemson takes on Duke, and some Major League Baseball scores from earlier in the day. The Cubs defeated the Giants 5-0, and the Royals beat the White Sox 12-1. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The jumbo formation to the near side.
They like counter out of this.
Under center, Kaliak-Manis. Back to throw on a play action. Looking to take a shot, throws it downfield. Pass is intercepted, I think. Picked off. Huskers intercept one at the 11-yard line. It's Omar Brown stepping in front of it. Back home to Minneapolis for Omar Brown, and he has a pick. Kaliak-Manis, 2 on the play clock. Just gets it off. Back to throw. Huskers send the blitz. They get after him. Nash gets a sack. Back at the 30-yard line. Huskers' second sack of the drive.
Rachel Fairbanks delivers it again to the Huskers. Back set, right attack. Mira Creason. Kaboom! That's a vertical leap. Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive serve, good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow! Andy Jackson. Kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Hope everybody's having a great Labor Day. We're laboring, if you can call what we do labor, but we're here on a Monday night.
You know, it's football season, right? And there's always typically a press conference or something going on. So I can't remember a time in my life that I've ever had Labor Day off.
Me neither.
Since I've been working in sports.
Right.
So, you know, kind of used to it. But I hope everybody else is enjoying their Labor Day.
Great weekend to go to the lake. It's hot. So I'm sure a lot of people took their boats out. A lot of people, they'll put them away after this weekend. So in a lot of ways, this is kind of the end of summer.
Yeah, it really is. And I know the pool was hopping. Usually the pool's closed after this weekend, too. So,
well, I want to start by admitting a mistake. I don't make very many, but I made one.
What'd you make? What kind?
Friday night show, I said I thought the Huskers would struggle in Manhattan yesterday. They did not.
I was really impressed with those freshmen. We've heard a lot about their willingness to compete, to not back down to challenges. But I wasn't so much with you on the letdown from the emotional night. I was more so, how are these freshmen going to handle their first time on the road and you had said that it was a sellout, and it's probably Kansas State fans are pretty good fans. They get pretty loud and rowdy, and so being in that new arena, it's probably going to be packed. Look, their first time on the road for this entire team together. I just thought maybe that would disrupt things a little bit, but Andy Jackson looked so good. They didn't back down. They seemed to thrive in it. No matter the challenge that you're throwing at these freshmen, they're handling it.
This starts kind of the meat grinder. We're going to hear from Jaylen Reyes coming up in hour number 2. But this kind of starts the meat grinder going there. Wednesday night, home to Creighton. They're ranked. They're always fired up to play the Huskers. Then it's out to Palo Alto next Tuesday to play Stanford. They did get upset over the weekend by Florida, which dropped them out of the top 3 spots in the country, and then Kentucky, who's been a Final Four type program the last few years. So this kind of starts it, but what a great match for them down there yesterday.
Great start. I mean, haven't lost a set yet, right? But you also throw in Creighton, obviously, which is this is another test for these young freshmen. You're going to hear Jaylen Reyes talking a little bit about that, about this rivalry match and winning the state. Everything's kind of a little bit new, and while they're not making the excuse of we're young or inexperienced, it's still new. Everything is new. So this is their first time playing in this match, which can be a little bit emotional. At least it's home inside the friendly confines of Devaney. But Long Beach State is not going to be a cakewalk.
I forgot them, yes.
Yeah, it's with Tyler Hildebrand, and that's another thing that Jaylen Reyes really dives into, that first of all, he has them believing, Tyler does, and they knock off Texas. It's arguably the best win in college volleyball up to date right now. And then also they play a different style of volleyball that you can't really prepare for, and so it's just going to be a little bit of a different look that you don't always get. You don't always play a Long Beach State type of team, and so you have Creighton, then you have Long Beach State. This is a stretch. This is where you really start getting into that grind before you head into Big Ten play.
Well, and I heard JB yesterday with Lauren in the pregame, and he goes, do we really know much about him yet? Because they were pretty dominant in the Emeritus Classic, clearly better than Omaha last Wednesday. And Lauren's like, nah, I think you know a little bit, but we don't know how they'll attack when they get pushed. And they really didn't get pushed yesterday either.
Yeah, and they settled it down when Kansas State. That's also what's impressive. At a couple different moments where you thought Kansas State was going to make a push, boy, they stopped it. And so to me, I thought, again, going back to the way that they handled that in certain moments, because there were some times that they could have very easily lost the momentum on the road and let Kansas State get back into it, but they shut it down. And but yeah, we'll see. With each match moving forward, we're going to learn, I think, more and more about this team. But I think so far, boy, they are a lot of fun to watch. A lot of talent.
I think they're good.
I do too.
Our next, by the way, we've had some texts about the next volleyball show Thursday night. We kind of get back into our normal routine this week. Football's on Tuesdays this year, volleyball on Thursday. So Coach Cook in here on Thursday night. Our football show tomorrow night, Tony White, defensive coordinator, will be here. Looking forward to talking to him.
Great day to have him.
What a great game they're coming off of. I mean, I went back and rewatched the game. The defense really did such a great job. Shut off the run game for the Gophers, made them basically throw at every play to try to move it.
I said this on Friday night, but I was really impressed with the cohesiveness of the defensive staff over there on the sideline and the way that they were all communicating with each other, with their players. There was a lot of moving parts. We've been told, I asked Luke Reimer going into the game, what can we expect to see from this defense? And he said chaos. And it kind of was, but it was organized chaos. And everybody was on the same page. They were running in a lot of different players at a lot of different times. A lot of players saw the field, and they were moving things around, trying to keep Minnesota off their heels a little bit, and I heard Tony White having those conversations. Okay, now they're trying to adjust to this, so now we're going to go here. And so I think the communication I was just really impressed for the first time, and this is still a new defense being installed, and a lot of these coaches hadn't even coached with Tony White, and I was really impressed with the unity and cohesiveness of the defensive side of the ball. Gosh, one more stop, and what a performance.
1 inch, as Coach Rhule said that at his press conference, if Daniel Jackson 1 inch keeps that toe from going down, Huskers win that game, and we feel so different today than we do. And I hope people have kind of calmed down and taken a deep breath over the weekend. We did get some news out of the press conference today. Tough news. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda's season is over. He did tear the ACL late in the game on Thursday night. My heart aches for that young guy. Came back, got into the program, earned the trust of his coaching staff, was a starter, now out for the year.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the great stories going into the season, and it was in the back of the end zone when they were targeting him late in I think it was the third quarter, and I saw him go into the tent, and when he came out, you just can tell when it's bad with players and the way that they're being
condolences, offering condolences.
Yeah, when they're coming over and giving them, pats on the back and just words of encouragement, and you just felt it wasn't good when you saw him come out of that and the way that he was on the sideline the rest of the game. But I also liked his demeanor. He was still trying to stay up and involved and talking with his his teammates and trying to stay engaged. So I hate it, and he is a guy that had some experience. Like with when you got such a young group, he was a guy that had played some football and played at multiple levels, played at a high level, and you just were relying on him in a room that still is pretty unproven. So, as Coach Rhule said today, you got to have some young guys step up. That's for sure.
That's the one probably position on the team you could not lose a veteran guy. And they did. So you're right. Malachi has a great opportunity. Jaylen Lloyd, Jaden Doss, those kids all have a great opportunity now to go get it and get some playing time. It will help that Marcus Washington is back in good graces. He was suspended for that first half on Thursday. He became a big target for Jeff Sims in the second half. I know you're not surprised by that at all.
I'm not. He's that guy that you can rely on, and he might not be the fastest wide receiver on the field, but you just know that he's going to be where he needs to be and not just catching the football. Whatever you ask of him to do, he's going to do it. And he doesn't care if it's blocking, if it's being a decoy. He just is that guy. He's so competitive, and you can just see it the way that he acts on the sideline. And he just is. He's just one of those dogs that you want on your team. And he's a reliable guy that it's no surprise that it seems like every quarterback he plays with, Casey Thompson really relied on him in certain moments when he absolutely had to have it. And then you saw him really emerge for Jeff Sims. While he was on the sideline that entire first half, he was really engaged, going up and down the sideline, trying to get guys fired up and really locked in. I think he's a guy that, we heard Damon say it. He's kind of the type of personality that this team is going to be built on. Just the doesn't really care, but will do whatever kind of job that it needs to be done. But I thought you could really see almost a confidence come back for that offense when he got back. Okay, Marcus Washington is back. He just provides that for this offense. I think a little bit of calm, a little bit of confidence. He's just that guy, that target that you can rely on in any given situation. That I thought you felt a little bit like this team felt like they got a lift when he got back out there.
All right, on to Colorado now, and I'll admit it. I was surprised with how much offensive firepower they have. I knew they had good athletes. I knew Sanders was a good quarterback. He played nearly a flawless game at that position. Their tempo will be a concern for Nebraska moving into this week. I don't think that they're particularly great along the line of scrimmage. I think Nebraska can do some things to stay in this game, obviously, and affect the outcome of it and push Colorado around a little bit. But I don't think Deion has a receipt for me. He's got receipts for a lot of people, but I think most people, even who were believers in him, probably came away a little surprised with how good they looked.
His son, the quarterback, is good. There's no denying it, and he was good. We heard Deion saying that after the game. He said it. I think he was on with Pat McAfee today and saying he's been good at every level he's played at, and he just has not lost very many football games. And you just can tell he's a really confident player. He doesn't even when he's rushed, it doesn't seem like he's rushed or hurried. And he's a talent, that's for sure. But I agree with you. And you said the tempo of Colorado might bother the Huskers. The tempo for the Huskers might bother Colorado.
And they need to do that.
Yeah.
Where TCU is going fairly fast, Nebraska will pull back the other way. So this is a completely battle of styles. Slow and steady against lickety-split, and that's going to be the battle to try to get this thing to the goal line with a victory on Saturday.
I also wonder, too, because the way that Minnesota was really able to stack the box and it really gave The Huskers have a hard time running the football late in the game. If Colorado's going to be able to do that as much, you know, I would think that Nebraska's big personnel would be a better matchup to continue to just run it down their throats as opposed to Minnesota, if that makes sense.
Hope so.
We'll see. I mean, it's one game, right? I mean, I do think, I don't know how good TCU was. I mean, obviously both teams were scoring at will, so I don't know how good either defense was. I don't know if we learned a lot about that. And I think, you know, you make a lot of growth. That was what Alex Bullock said to me after the game on Thursday night, is a lot of teams make a lot of progress between game 1 and game 2, and they learned a lot about themselves. They're going to go to the film and get better and get a game plan together. So I still don't know if we can just completely say what's going to happen based off of the game that Colorado played and the game that Nebraska played. There's still a lot to be learned about both teams, I think.
No doubt. All right, Matt Rhule met with the media earlier today. We'll play some of the highlights coming up here in a little bit. You want to be a part of the program, love to hear from you. 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Both lines are open. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach who met with the media earlier today. That's next.
Hi, I'm a volleyball. It's an okay life. I go back and forth about it. But I really wish I was a Nebraska Lottery Powerball or Mega Millions Mega Ball. See, all they have to do is mix around in a big plastic bubble and roll down a ramp, and then people win millions. What a great life. As for me, I get thrown around all day and have to worry about getting spiked, which is about to happen right now. Oh, ow! Couldn't you just do a nice, gentle tip?
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker pride, powered locally.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty in town.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. The only designated R1 research university in Nebraska, UNL's innovations power economic growth, precision ag production, tech breakthroughs, and future leaders in Nebraska. With the highest graduation rates and highest median earnings for recent grads of any public university in Nebraska, UNL is doing big things for our state.
Woodhouse Chevy is making car buying better, now with 2 convenient locations in Missouri Valley, Iowa, and our newest location in Omaha at 112th and Dodge. Plus, going on now, receive up to $6,000 off MSRP on the 2023 Chevy Silverado. Visit us in-store or online anytime to shop our current offers and inventory. Find new roads with Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley and now in Omaha. With Blue Credits and dealer for details, offer expires 7/31/2023.
Meet water's bubblier and more energetic best friend. Bubbler Antioxidant Sparkling Water. With tons of flavors, there's one for every occasion. Interviewing for your dream job, hitting the beach, or going on an epic road trip? Pop the top on your favorite bubbler flavor and awesome antioxidants swoop in to balance your body and focus your mind. Right before a boost of natural caffeine shows up to save your day. There's a benefit in every bubble and a happier you just waiting to rise up. Find out more at Drink Bubbler on Instagram.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Our Woodhouse Auto family is your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Happy Labor Day to everybody. Back to the work grind tomorrow for most of you. We're in here today doing the work for you to enjoy tonight. But glad to be here to do that. We do take some holidays off in the summer when it's low-key, but this is not low-key. This is football season.
Yes, it is. And you know, it's still a little bit of an easier day, but it's not work, right, when you're having fun, and we're always having fun. We're talking sports.
All right, time for us to hear from Matt Rhule from earlier today. Time for tonight's practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
So Matt Rhule at noon today, met with the media to talk about recapping Minnesota and getting ready for Colorado. Here was his opening statement.
I think the guys have done a good job since Thursday night, working hard to improve as a team. Excited about this week. Obviously, going on the road again versus another Power 5 opponent. Great chance for us to take a step as a team to improve, try to go 1-0 this week. I have a lot of respect for the team that we're playing. I had a chance to watch them on Saturday. Obviously, playing a ranked team. They'll be a ranked team this week, and maybe even a top 10 team, and that's well deserved. So excited to see our guys match that environment, handle that environment, and excited for the week.
That's another thing to keep in mind, too, is that this is Colorado's home opener. So there's going to be a lot of emotion for them. They're going to be pretty fired up.
They will be. The polls don't come out till tomorrow for football. Camden had the volleyball poll. But there's a game tonight. Clemson and Duke are about ready to kick off in Durham tonight. So no college football polls till tomorrow. We'll see. I think Coach might be right. They might be ranked. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many upsets in the top 25. TCU obviously one of them. We'll see.
I think, too, we'll also see if TCU is a top 25 team, too. I mean,
right.
Mike on the chat said, I thought I heard during the game TCU lost something like 85% of their playmakers from last year. They did. They had a lot of guys that got drafted pretty high. And their quarterback was really, really good. He carried them at times. So, did Colorado look great? They did, and they went in there, and everybody was doubting them, and they knocked off a top 20 opponent. I don't know yet if TCU is worthy of that number 17 ranking.
We don't know if Minnesota's going to be good. I mean, that's the thing. It's too early. That's why you should never overreact or underreact after week one. You shouldn't feel like you're the best team in the country after week one, because there's just so many things that change in this sport from week to week. Coach got asked about Jeff Sims. Obviously, that was a tough game for him Thursday night. How has he been mentally on trying to bounce back?
Yeah, when I left last night, he was in there watching tape. So, he's not the first quarterback that's ever thrown 3 interceptions. He'll the great ones bounce back from it and even better. So, I think you find out about people when they go through a little bit of adversity. So obviously, he had not been trending that way. Got in the game, made some plays that if he could take back, he would, but he can't. So we'll just be there for him as he gets better this week.
Yeah, I mean, you just heard Coach Rhule say it. Jeff Sims said it after the game. He's got to take better care of the football. If you turn the ball over 4 times, it's going to be really hard to win any football game. So he's got to be better. So this is a huge opportunity for him to bounce back and take better care of the football this week.
We're not splitting atoms by saying you can't turn the ball over like that and win. You just can't. There's too many good players on everybody's team that you're going to play. And Jeff knows that. He's played a lot of college football, so he certainly knows that. We're going to hear all week about tempo, how fast Colorado played, and how, in some ways, how methodical Nebraska probably needs to play on the road to try to quiet that crowd, keep the ball away from Shedeur Sanders on Saturday. Here's the coach talking about tempo and also playing it at that high altitude out in Boulder.
We've been practicing versus tempo all training camp because, it's a good way to practice, right? On defense, it's a good way to prepare. It's a good way to get in shape. The things that we teach, tracking the near hip, all the different fundamentals that we believe in, they show up in these games, right? What has a tendency to happen when it goes that fast, guys start to get sloppy. And this, for our guys, they're going to have to make this football. This has to be football. This can't be about tempo. This can't be about altitude. This can't be about playing a ranked opponent or being on the road. It just has to be football. And if we do that, that's what we've done all training camp. We'll have a chance. There's obviously a lot of questions about how would the 3-3-5 stack up to big people. I thought, we handled the run game in the last game pretty well. This is, as you said, a whole unique challenge, right? Maybe more designed for the 3-3-5, So we'll just have to play well, though. It's going to be football. We have to play good football.
I will say this, I was pretty impressed with the conditioning. I mean, and I know it was at night, but I was really impressed with how they were in shape. They seem to be in very, very good shape. So,
did anybody cramp?
I didn't see anybody cramping.
I don't think anybody did.
And there was only, I think, 2 people go into the tent, and one of them, I don't even know, it wasn't like a significant starter, and then the other one was Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. So, I think they've done some things well. So I'll be interested to see. I'll try to do some research and talk to some people about what they're doing, because with the cutting edge and the sports science type of stuff that they've implemented with this new staff, I mean, you got to think that they're doing something to prepare for that, because it's different. We heard Coach Hoiberg talking about that with the basketball team, how hard that was to manage.
Yeah. All right. Deion Sanders has certainly gotten a lot of attention in the offseason, taking over the Colorado football program. Coach Rhule has an awful lot of respect for Coach Sanders, and just says this is a football guy.
He's won in everything he's done in football. He's won as a player. He's won as a coach. So I think everyone maybe thinks, like, outside, not me. Everyone else thinks, like, well, this is all a show, and that he's the most serious person about football. Like, his poster was on people's walls for a reason as a player, because he's one of the hardest practicing, hardest playing people that's ever played the game, right? So why would we think that his team wouldn't be the same? CJ White's on our staff was a strength coach for him. He told us, like, early on, like, let me tell you how they're going to practice. Let me tell you what they're going to do. So the utmost respect for Coach Sanders. Like, when he was the head coach of Trinity Christian, I recruited Quaylen Jones out of there. He's a football guy. Like, like all the other stuff, the commercials and all those things, those are extra things you get to do when you're elite at football. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I think everything he's ever done in football, he's been successful at, and so he's being successful here already.
He is all over the place. I mean, College Game Day did a sit down with them. Big Noon did a sit down with them. The NBC pregame show had a big segment on him. Every show, every pregame show, every halftime show, they all had a big thing on Prime. And then when you go to commercial break, he's like in 4 or 5 different commercials.
Aflac.
KFC,
Yeah.
the almonds, the California almonds, he is everywhere. And, there's a lot of hype. And they lived up to it on Saturday. So, you have to respect that. They came out there and beat a number 17 team, and there's no overlooking Colorado by this Nebraska bunch. That's for sure.
This is big noon kickoff Saturday. The opportunity for Nebraska is huge.
Yeah.
If you go out there, you're going to have a ton of eyeballs on this game. Go out there and shock the world and think what that will do for Nebraska's program if we can get this done.
I saw somewhere else, too, that the most bet on team, even more than any NFL team up to this point or whatever, is Colorado. Wow. There's a lot of people that are doubting Nebraska at this point. I mean, there are several analysts that have gone on and said Nebraska doesn't have a shot. Hey, just quietly sit back, go in there, and maybe use that as a little fuel. But there's not a lot of people giving Nebraska much of a shot now. And, it's a huge opportunity. There's going to be so many eyeballs on this football game, that's for sure, to see if Prime and company can repeat what they did.
Travis Hunter. Boy, this kid is a special player, two-way player. Defensive back, had a pick in the game. They'll use him on offense. They'll use him in special teams. He played like 130 snaps for Colorado on Saturday against TCU. Coach Rhule was asked about having to try to deal with Travis Hunter.
He's one of the most conditioned athletes I've ever seen, so, God bless him. His long speed is unbelievable. His ability to accelerate at 30 yards is something that's hard to simulate in practice. But I think the biggest thing about Travis is he's just his ball skills. He goes up, and even the one where his foot landed out of bounds, his ball skills. So that's really going to be the theme of the week. Again, with this offense, they're going to throw the ball down the field 10 times a game minimum. You have to play the ball, you know what I'm saying? And he can go up and get the ball. You saw him do it on offense. You saw him do it on defense. He took the ball out of the young man's hands on the flat route in the end. It wasn't like he got the ball first. He took it out of his hands. But if you watch them practice all summer on the stuff that they put out, he's got those kind of ball skills. So he's a competitor.
Searles called me after the game and said, that's the most impressive college football athlete I've ever seen. Just unbelievable how many snaps he played, and making an impact, not just playing both sides of the ball, making a huge impact on both sides of the ball. It was unbelievable. It was really impressive to watch.
Yep, he's scary good. There's no doubt about it. All right, we talked about this on Friday, a little bit about the lack of targets and impact that Billy Kemp and Thomas Fidone had in the game Thursday night. We'll wrap up with Coach here. He was asked about, are you going to get those two guys involved more?
Yeah, I was disappointed, especially for Billy, right? I think of the 60 plays we called, 9, he was the first guy in the progression. But some of them, either they took that away, or there was pressure or something like that. So, you called a play for Thomas down in the goal line. Thought it was going to be a touchdown. It just, kind of got banged by the guy and wasn't open. So, really, Billy, we have to get going. We have to find a way to get him involved because he's too good of a player, too competitive of a guy. Thomas as well. Again, talk about things we want to improve upon. Just I think the overall passing game this week, for us to have a chance versus a team that can score like this, we're going to have to make some more plays. So, we got through the first week. We identified, hey, we need to improve this. Hopefully we can make some strides.
You just got to be able to do both. And not saying you have to do it heavy doses of all the time and air it out all the time, but you've got to be able to throw the football some. And so, I like to see definitely improvement in that, and I think the whole team would as well.
Yeah. All right, there's your practice report for a Monday. Tomorrow night we will hear from Tony White, our football show, hour number 1. Husker defensive coordinator will be here for an entire hour. Hey, our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400. Got a lot of texts. We'll get to those. We can take some calls as well. We're back with more next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag. the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new. It's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbrothers.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
I have reports of a polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense.
more powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
If problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Monday night, Labor Day. Coming off the Labor Day weekend. If you are a fan of college football, you love this weekend. There were games all over the place.
Yes, because there's Sunday, there's tonight, there's Friday, there's Thursday. I mean, it's almost a week straight of college football.
Love it. Sue on our text line, I'm curious, I probably would not have thought about this except for the Sports Illustrated article. When a touchdown is called and they say the previous play is under review, what exactly is the rule? Every scoring play is reviewed, Sue, to make sure they got it right, whether the guy's over the goal line, feet in bounds, whatever it is. They quickly review it to make sure it's good. Most of the time, you don't even know about it in the stands because it's pretty clear cut, but all scoring plays are reviewed.
There you go.
Pretty simple on that. Teddy Prohaska update. I think he's getting better. He traveled. He was at the game.
He wasn't. He was, even though he's on the depth chart listed number 3, but he was warming up behind Turner. So I was thinking that if he was coming in, he'd have been the backup. But yeah, he looked good in warm-ups, and I'm sure it's just, again, not trying to rush it by any means. And it's been a long time since he's been out there. You had Turner at left tackle. Bryce Benhart was playing pretty well at right tackle. So I don't know. We'll see if they move it around. But he did look good in warm-ups. I was watching very closely with him.
Mark says TCU runs the 3-3-5 like Nebraska. So who does that help? Colorado because they have the success, or Nebraska because they can see what TCU tried and changed things? I would go the latter. He says this is something you can ask Coach White tomorrow. I think Nebraska can look at the alignments and go, okay, Colorado exposed this, they attack that, we need to do that. I think it helps Nebraska to have seen a similar style defense play them.
I really do too, and I think Nebraska has the opportunity to tweak things a little bit more than TCU. I mean, TCU is built for the spread to face a lot of high-powered, a lot of offenses that are going to throw it all over the place, whereas I know that Tony White is very much knows what the Big Ten is and how you got to defend it, and so I think Nebraska's built a little bit to be able to tweak more than maybe what even TCU could.
Nabrera Lee says, you guys said nobody's giving the Huskers a chance. Why does Vegas have us as a 7.5-point favorite? That's not accurate. Colorado's favored by 3.5. I checked about an hour ago.
That changed overnight.
I think that might have been the preseason line on the game before anybody played, but it quickly flipped after our game and their game on Saturday.
And when I'm saying nobody's giving them much of a chance, if you watch any national media sports shows, everyone is just talking about how Colorado and being home with Prime, his home opener and all of that. There's not a lot of people that are picking Nebraska to have much of a chance in this one.
Bill in Portland says soccer team beat K-State 4-0. I think they're undefeated. They are. They have a tie, but they've not lost a match. They've got a couple of home matches this weekend, Thursday, Sunday. They're scoring goals.
Yeah, they're dominating. They're dominating. And they are ranked. Rankings did come out. One set of rankings came out today. They're number 24, which deserving of that ranking. And they have not. They've played some teams that are maybe not I guess as caliber of not a Power 5, but then they've also played. They played Missouri. They played Kansas State, and they've dominated pretty much every team they faced. And so it gets tougher from here on out, and certainly the Big Ten is a very well-respected conference in soccer. So, but man, they are exciting. We've been saying that because they got everybody back. They were so young last year, and they got a lot of pieces back, a lot of young talent too, a lot of freshmen coming in from the state of Nebraska that, means a lot to them to wear that in, and they've looked really good to start the season.
John's teams have always been so solid defensively. They couldn't find the back of the net, but this team is. They are finding the back of the net. They'll play UC Davis Thursday night at 7 out at Hibner, and then they have a Sunday home match as well. So 2 opportunities for you to go see them in Lincoln this week, Thursday night, Sunday afternoon. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The thoughtfully redesigned 2023 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. The 2023 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of June 2022. Duteau Subaru in Lincoln and DuteauSubaru.com.
Discover your next Ford with Woodhouse. The truck you've always wanted to the SUV you need, Woodhouse has the full lineup. Plus a huge selection guarantees you'll get the features that matter and at a smart price. Like our current offer on a new Ford F-150. Or needing the versatility of an SUV to take on the everyday. Shop our offers going on now. Find your Ford with Woodhouse online or at one of our 3 convenient locations.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with Jaytech Solar. Jaytech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. Jaytech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Kids eat free in September at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee to celebrate National Family Meals Month. That's right, get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under can choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, chicken tenders, and more. Bring the family together. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day in September.
Dine in only. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Final few minutes of Hour 1 here of our Monday show. Again, tomorrow night, Tony White. Hour 1, it's our football show for the week. And John Cook, his next radio show is Thursday night. Tim and Kearney said, I've heard Charlie McBride say on every down, they never knew where it was coming from, but we brought someone every down. I think we need to blitz every play. Don't let the quarterback get too comfortable. Go Black Shirts. I think you got to be careful blitzing. They get the ball out so fast that you've taken one defender away from coverage. I don't know that that's the strategy to use against this style of offense. And again, I'm not a defensive coordinator, so I could be all wet.
Be a great question to ask Tony White, which I'm sure he's not going to reveal much of the game plan, but I'm sure he's got a plan, and that's the great part about this defense is it is interchangeable. You can tweak it to match up well against different styles of offense.
I did like the fact we had 3 sacks the other night. Thought that was great. Blaze got one. Polar Bear had one. Can't remember who got the third one. I'll have to look it up. But I love the pressure. They were getting to Cadillac Manis a handful of times.
Was it Malcolm Hartzog? No.
Luke Reimer.
Reimer
had the other sack. So, you forced the one turnover. That was big. Omar made a great play on that. But getting some pressure, at times that's been hard. But I thought Nebraska did that, particularly in the second half of the game. Huskers gave up 3 sacks, all in the second half as well. I want to try to probably limit that a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know, Tim. I don't know that I go with blitz them every down. I think you do some of that. But as quick as they were getting rid of the football, you're not going to get home. Maybe you bat it down every now and then, but you really expose yourself to bigger plays if you do that and don't get there.
You have to remember, too, no Ty Robinson to start in the first half.
That hurts.
Yeah, hurts a lot.
Matt Rhule was loving what he did. He said up until that point, he goes, he was dominant up front.
I think things have clicked for him. I mean, we have to see more, but we started to see that really click for him at the end of last season. And, Jeremiah really dove into that on our first episode of The Slice about how things were starting to click for Ty at the end of last season, and it seems like he's carried it over that, he should dominate football games. So it's going to hurt for this team not to have him in the first half.
You're right. Wisconsin, Iowa games last year, he was a really disruptive force, and I thought he did that. They had to double team him quite a bit Thursday night in Minneapolis just because he was pushing them around a little bit. So I think Matt Rhule said today, he goes, I told Ty today, you're not coming off the field in the second half. So rest up in the first half. I'm not taking you out of the game.
Better be ready to roll, yeah.
Better get ready to.
I do think, though, again, going back to, I think it was some valuable minutes for some of those young freshmen that had to step up in that moment.
Agreed.
And so, we've heard that all spring about the opportunities they were able to have, but it's a lot different when you're thrown into the fire of a game, of an actual game in the Big Ten. And so I think Princewell, Cam Linhart got some great minutes to be able to get a feel for what is expected of them when they're going to be called upon. They're going to continue to be called upon.
Yeah. All right, next hour, Jessica earlier today taped the latest The Dig podcast with Jaylen Reyes, one of the Husker volleyball assistant coach. So this will be right after the Kansas State match. So this will be up to date with that. We'll have that for you. We'll continue our football discussion as well. We've got a Clemson-Duke game about ready to kick off here tonight. So, yeah, lot still to come in hour number 2. You talked about all those bodies that we kept rolling in there. Cam Linhart played. Princewell played. Elijah Judy played. We hadn't heard Elijah's name mentioned much by the coaches, but he was out there quite a bit Thursday night.
It seemed like there was a lot of rotation in defensive back, too, right? It seemed like they were constantly telling guys to be ready to go in and different guys running in and out, which I think is only going to help with the conditioning, too, if you're rotating guys. So it seemed like there was a lot of, I think David and you talked about that, about how many different players saw the field on defense.
I think in the first series, 18 guys got on the field the first series of the game. I love that. I've always felt like coaches don't sub enough in football just to get guys out there and keep you fresh late in the game. I think that's a philosophy of this staff that I wholeheartedly agree with.
And again, going back to what I was talking about, it was chaos in that regard, being that there were a lot of bodies running out, but it was organized. And it just seemed like they just had such a good flow and rhythm about any rhyme or reason as to what they were doing in any given moment.
Subbing against this attack's going to be hard because they go so fast. Woodhouse Auto Family, well, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Cole says we're done for the hour. So we're done for the hour. We got one more to go.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Nebraska football head coach Matt Rhule spoke to the media about a variety of different topics. One of those topics was the stadium environment in Boulder.
I say it because this is exactly what I'm saying to the team. I'm saying, like, make it football, right? Like, all that's what it is, right? But it's still going to come down to blocking and tackling. And, you know, I think they went down to TCU last week. And while everyone thought it was, you know, going to be all this stuff, they played football. They went out there, they caught the ball, they played good football, and they won the game. So, like, we're just going to try to make it football. Like, we're lucky we had, unfortunately, the loss last week, but we had it was game one of the season, and the other team did a goal route. Like, how often does that happen on the first game of the year, right? So, like, we recognize every game we play in, every game the Nebraska Cornhuskers in is going to be a big game. And so for a team to do that in the first game of the year, it was really, really loud. I thought, you know, Minnesota had a great student section. Obviously, a lot of our mistakes happened down in their student section, which was unfortunate for us. We have to learn from that. But last week happened maybe to prepare us for this week, you know, or maybe prepare us for the future. But we'll be a significantly better team after these first 2 weeks of being on the road in these two environments when we come back home and then when we go on the road late in the year. But in terms of preparing for it, it's football. Like, if we can't lock in and just play football, then, you know, nothing I say will matter. You know, it's the pregame pageantry, all that stuff. That'll all be over. It'll be football once the game kicks off.
Yesterday, Nebraska Volleyball took on Kansas State down in Manhattan, Kansas. They continued their undefeated season as they swept the Wildcats 25-21, 25-15, and 25-19. The Huskers have yet to drop a set this season. The AVCA volleyball poll also came out today. Wisconsin held on to the number one spot with Louisville right behind. Florida jumped up 5 spots to third after victories over Stanford and Minnesota. Huskers stayed put at fourth, and Stanford dropped to fifth to round out the top 5. The soccer team also played K-State and won their 5th straight game by a score of 4-0 last night thanks to 2 goals from Eleanor Dale. It's the first time since 2000 that the Huskers are undefeated through the first 6 games of the season. Coming up in just a few minutes, one major college football game. 9th-ranked Clemson takes on Duke. And some Major League Baseball scores from earlier in the day. The Cubs defeated the Giants 5-0. The Royals beat the White Sox 12-1. The Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 4-2. The Reds beat the Mariners 6-3. And the Red Sox beat the Rays 7-3. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The jumbo formation to the near side.
They like counter out of this.
Under center, Kaliak Manis. Back to throw on a play action. Looking to take a shot, throws it downfield. Pass is intercepted, I think. Picked off. Huskers intercept one at the 11-yard line. It's Omar Brown stepping in front of it. Back home to Minneapolis for Omar Brown, and he has a pick. Kaliak Manis, 2 on the play clock. Just gets it off. Back to throw. Huskers send the blitz. They get after him. Nash gets a sack. Back at the 30-yard line. Huskers' second sack of the drive.
Rachel Fairbanks delivers it again to the Huskers. Back set, right attack. Mira Creasy. Kaboom! That's a vertical leap. Liz Grigorski, former Wisconsin Badger, line drive serve, good pass. Rodriguez the slide. Wow! Andy Jackson. Kaboom! And that draws some oohs and ahs.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back, hour number 2, Monday Night Show. Again, I'm on our football show, hour 1. Defensive coordinator Tony White will be here, and our volleyball show will be headed your way Thursday night. John Cook, John Baylor in studio for that. Husker volleyball back on the court Wednesday night at the Devaney Center. The Creighton Blue Jays. That is a great rivalry. Creighton has a very good team as well. So that'll be a fun match on Wednesday night. 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the program with a call or a text. We got college football on in the studio tonight. They've kicked off in Durham, Duke, and Clemson. Some interesting games over the weekend. I was really impressed with Florida State last night. They took it to LSU. That made me feel bad for the SEC, Jessica. I mean, that conference shouldn't be treated like that.
Right? I mean, even if we sacrificed a pick, I think I was okay with
I was too.
LSU going down.
All of us picked LSU. I was surprised. It was like a 1.5-point line.
I should have known better. I thought that there was too much hype I didn't know how good Florida State was going to be, but I kind of got a feeling there was too much hype for LSU coming off the season that they did. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely thought they were going to be better.
Tim in Minnesota, on our text line, said you guys may have already picked your weekend winners. I know volleyball, soccer teams are front runners, but I believe you need to consider Wyoming and former Husker assistant coach Craig Bohl, what they accomplished in beating Texas Tech. That's a really good win. It was not a good weekend for the Big 12. Tech, who a lot of people think is a top 25 team, they go to Laramie, get beat in overtime by Wyoming. Baylor was like a 25-point favorite, loses to Texas State. TCU loses to Deion. So that league got bumped around a little bit. I know there was some other good scores. Oklahoma rolled, K-State rolled in their game, but they lost a couple of games that they were big favorites.
I wonder, do you think we're starting to see, we already have seen a lot of it, but more parity just with the older teams? I
almost think the rich will get richer because of the transfer portal. The better teams will get the better guys.
But I don't know. I just it's so hard to just come out of the gate and think you know everything again.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of hype about Texas Tech, and they hadn't played a game yet. So I just, it's just a lot of people think they know, but until you start seeing these teams start playing a few games, not even just the first game, not basing it off of the first game, but I think you got to see 3 games before you kind of know
I agree.
what these teams are and are not.
The league that had a great weekend, the Pac-12, that's going away. I mean, they had some big-time results. Washington beat Boise. Oregon scored like 80 points. USC, Lincoln Riley's team, scored over 50 against Nevada. I don't know that they lost a game in that conference. I think they went undefeated.
Did you see Puddles, the Oregon Duck, when they...
Oh, he had to be exhausted?
He had to do push-ups so he was having to do like 584 push-ups, and he just kind of like fell to the ground like he was exhausted.
I will say that. I enjoyed... It was a terrible game for the Huskers, but I did enjoy that trip. That's a cool place to watch a football game.
Minnesota.
Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
We got smoked, but it was a cool place to go. Probably headed back there soon because they're coming in the league next year.
I've heard that it's an unbelievable stadium. I've never been.
And Washington is phenomenal. I mean, I've been to all 4 of those that are coming into the Big 12 Conference, and they all have something cool about each one of those 4. So
now the Rose Bowl is just historic, but it is not very pretty.
Yeah.
And they don't get many fans. But it's your.
They will when the Huskers come out there.
Yeah.
They will when that happens.
But it's not like a big-time road environment.
No.
But it's the history of the Rose Bowl.
402-413-2400. A text has come in. Any update on Peyton Robb? Is he planning on returning to wrestling? I don't know.
The last I heard, he was. We had him in studio in the summer after his incident, and he was coming back. And, his plan was to try to see if he could get back. There was a lot of muscle loss, a lot of rehab to be done, but I took it as when I sat down and talked with him. I haven't talked to him recently in the last couple weeks or so, but his plan was to try to get back.
Man, that was so scary. And when you saw pictures of that leg, I think he almost lost the leg at one point in time. Just awful deal. I know we're looking down the road. Husker wrestling is going to be really good. You get Ridge Lovett back into the deal. They're going to be really, really good this year for Mark Manning. But again, that's a few months down the road for that to happen. All right. Question on the text line: who had the highest rated PFF among Nebraska lineman, offense, defense? I'd have to go dig that out. I know Bryce Benhart's PFF was pretty good. And I think Ben Scott's was pretty good on the offensive line. Defensive line, Ty's was really good. Then he gets targeted and thrown out of the game. The defense across the board on the PFF really scored well in what they should have. I mean, they held the Gophers out of the end zone until 2.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm anxious. I'll sit down with Jeremiah tomorrow to record our podcast, so you know how we do. We'll dive into the offensive line and get his thoughts on that. And he's always watches the all-22s and dives into the film, but he was also there, so I know he'll have takes on the offensive line. I do think he was not pleased with Turner, but I think Turner will be the first to tell you he didn't play well enough. I mean, he's a leader. He's got to be better. And so, but yeah, we'll dive into really the grading of that line. And, you heard him saying, too, about the mobile quarterback with both Minnesota's and Nebraska's quarterback and their ability to use their feet, that a lot of times there's some things that get put on the O-line that isn't always their fault. So we'll see some of those sacks that were given up, if that was maybe the quarterback trying to make things happen, or if it was the O-line needing to be better. Look, I'm not the O-line expert, but we have one that we'll talk to tomorrow, and we'll have more from him tomorrow as well.
44 pass attempts by the Gophers Thursday night. I'm shocked by that. And they came out of the gate throwing the football. Whether they didn't feel like they could run against the Huskers, which they couldn't. Nebraska held them to 55 yards on the ground. But they really, just from the get-go, decided they were going to put it on the arm of Cadillac Manis to throw the football, and he certainly did. I thought he played pretty well. Omar Brown, I will credit Omar more than I will that it was a bad throw by Cadillac Manis. Omar read it beautifully and made a great step in front. To me, that was more of a defender making a great play.
Yeah, it was. And he, who was it was saying that he ran the route with the wide receiver. He really did.
DB?
Yeah. It was DB. Okay.
DB said that, I think.
I couldn't remember where I heard it, but
DB.
It was, okay. Well, shoot, my IFB wasn't working half the time, so I don't know where I heard half the things that I heard. But obviously he did a great job. Omar's the guy we've heard a lot about, and that he can do a lot of different things. He's kind of a jack of all trades for that defense, and so we've been hearing about him, and I think he's settled in. I think he likes his defense, and he fits well in this defense. So I don't think that's I said this, and I'm not tooting my own horn because it wasn't like this was a big out on the limb type of take. I thought this could be a breakout year for Omar Brown. So I think I said that earlier in the fall. And so we'll see how he continues to build off of it. But a lot of times if you get one, it kind of takes the lid off. So hopefully that's not the last interception. I don't think it will be the last interception from Omar Brown.
He had 7, I think, career at UNI, and looks like he's really selling it. And I thought Deshaun Singleton played really, really well. Top tackler on the team, probably got away with a PI late in the game, but he came up and run support and leveled the boom a couple of times.
Yeah. You saw how well he could hit a couple of times.
He brings it. And so I thought he played really, really well for the Huskers on Thursday night. All right, 402-413-2400. Keep those texts coming. Love all that interaction from you guys as well. When we come back, we'll hear from Jaylen Reyes, Husker assistant volleyball coach. He's the latest member to jump into the dig, the weekly podcast about Husker volleyball. We'll have a snippet of that for you next.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Do you know the power of pork in Nebraska? 17,000 jobs supported by the pork industry. $1.6 billion in economic impact. Over 1,200 pig farms producing 7.8 million pigs. Nebraska's pig farmers serve an ace. Bacon, ribs, chops, oh my, just taste the power of pork. This message brought to you by the Nebraska pork producers through their checkoff.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
TV's out. Internet too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day-by-day donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFlyLNK.com and book your trip today. Let's go.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Well, the Huskers had the solutions yesterday in Manhattan, a sweep of the Wildcats on the volleyball court. Earlier today, you had a chance to record another podcast, The Dig, with Jaylen Reyes.
Yes, so the first appearance from Jaylen Reyes, he was awesome. We had a very long conversation. It was fun just even also just, shooting the bull with him even before we started recording about, just diving into all the things that they do and where they're lining up Lexi Rodriguez, all of the above. But here is a portion of that entire conversation right now of The Dig with Jaylen Reyes. Well, we have to start. 92,003 people break the world record. Man, how special was that night?
It was unreal. Still can't
fully grasp it, if that makes sense. Everyone asked me, like, did this meet your expectations of what you thought it was going to be? And if I'm being honest, I knew the fans would show out, and I knew we would break records. But I don't think any of us could have expected how it went. I mean, it was just one of those things where I don't know. I mean, I'd love to do another one of these, but I can firmly say I don't know if I'd ever coach in one of these environments ever again in terms of, like, I mean, some of the pictures and just being up there on the stage in front of everybody, and just most of the time when we coach volleyball, I have this tendency to kind of like, everything else kind of goes away. And then here at Nebraska, we get to coach in front of amazing crowds all the time, whether they're on the road, they're at Devaney, they're up in Omaha. But Wednesday night was, I mean, you know, I'm honestly just humble and happy I got to be a part of it, because I don't think that's going to ever happen again. You know, I'd love to be wrong, Trev, but I just, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, it was one of those, you're part of a world record, and just how cool it is for our girls and for the state of Nebraska and the university to really show, like, where the home of college volleyball is. I just think is really, really awesome, and can't really put it into words yet.
What was the tunnel walk like?
I mean, I've been on the field, because when we have recruits for the football games, we are usually on the field when the boys are coming out. And I remember my first tunnel walk watching, I'm like, damn, this is pretty awesome. We saw the video the night before, but it doesn't. The one thing you don't have is you don't have the crowd and, you know, the coordination of everyone knows when to clap and everyone knows what to say. And I don't know, when the video screen turned and it was Coach and then it was the two captains, Merritt and Lexi, I was like, damn, that was pretty cool. And watching them walk out, it was kind of funny, because some of them were so awkward on camera because they knew they were on camera, but they were also like so excited, you know. And the gates open, and I remember kind of standing on the court because we're getting ready to warm up, me and the other assistants, and yeah, I mean, that was part of it, right? I mean, I think for me, the tunnel walk I think was the coolest part of the night, in my opinion, was just because it was such an iconic thing here at Nebraska. And the fact that, again, you know, our girls got to do it, you know, and now those girls, when they come back and they go to a football game, they'll be able to say, like, we did one of those. And I may be biased, but I think it's the coolest one out of all the probably hundreds of times Nebraska have done a tunnel walk. The volleyball players got to do the most special one, which is really cool.
I mean, there's a lot to, I guess, battle through all that. I mean, the emotions, the crowd, the outdoor. So overall, how did you guys feel like the team handled everything? Because you still had to go play a match.
Yeah, I think they did an unbelievable job of just separating. Even coaches, like, this is going to be emotional. Like, even before the game, during the game. But I thought when it was time to play volleyball, they played volleyball. And if I'm being honest, the wind was a factor. In the first set, we were only setting. It was tough to set the ball just because the wind was coming from the southwest. It was tough to set the ball to the west side of the stadium. So in the first set, we set a lot of balls to our outside hitters. We even sent our middles to not go on that slide behind the setter. We just kept them in front the whole time, just because the wind was. In volleyball and beach volleyball especially, you don't want to. It's hard to set the ball in the direction of the wind, because the wind can really affect it. So we just set away from the wind and then hit it back toward the wind without getting into the nuts and bolts of it. I think the fact that all of our players played beach in the spring helped a ton, because when we talked about this stuff, they weren't totally lost. And Bergen Riley, I think, did an unbelievable job of setting that. Not a lot of people. I think have a feel of how hard it was to set that ball, where a lot of setting is literally getting underneath the ball, but the ball gets past good and it could move 2 feet forward, and that, you know, that's a huge difference between being able to locate a ball with tempo versus just setting it, you know, to where I'm standing all the way on the sidelines. And I guess a side note, one of my best buddies growing up, his name's Micah Christensen. We played club volleyball and high school volleyball together. He's the setter for the men's national team, two-time Olympian, and he was part of that USA volleyball crew that was there that night. And that was the first text he sent me, was the environment was unbelievable. And, man, kudos to your setter, and him being a high-level setter understood kind of like how hard that was, watching that ball move on the pass. You know, from the TV broadcast, you can really even see how much that ball is moving around. And the fact that Bergen was kind of able to put up a ton of hittable balls for us was kind of kudos to her. But, you know, to not say that the wind wasn't a factor, it definitely was a factor in the game. And which team handled that better? I think we came out to an advantage. I think we had an advantage just because we play outside a little bit in the spring. But just in terms of like our girls being able to kind of table the environment that's around them, because you can even understand, like, if someone didn't play well because of what was going on, I could honestly even say, like, as a human, like as a coach, no, it's about volleyball. But that night was unlike any other, in my opinion. So it would have been really easy for our girls to, oh, we didn't play as well because of the environment, because we were outside. None of that stuff was an excuse, and just them able to, when it was time to play volleyball, we had to handle our business and played volleyball. I think they did an unbelievable, honestly, a better job than I expected them to.
And then opening up first one on the road at Kansas State on Sunday. Overall, how did you feel like the team handled the first kind of hostile environment that they were in?
It was different. I think, one, that's a great environment. I think Kansas State, and one of my buddies, Jay Mansfield's the coach down there, and he's going to do a great job. And I think the environment they had yesterday was unreal in terms of the student section showed out, and I mean, it was loud and it was hopping. They do a nice job with the game production, the lights, the sound. I mean, some of it was like deafening. Like I had to like scream, and I'm only like 6 feet away, and Becca and Andy can barely hear me sometimes. But I thought it was great as a team, and then obviously rolling out the freshmen. I thought the freshmen had played really well. Andy Jackson had a really nice match. Bergen Riley does what she normally does. Lainey Choboy, I think, had she made some plays early in that game that really, I think, got us into rhythm, that really, how should I say this, that maybe killed some of the nerves, if that makes sense, just because it's like, oh, Lainey's flying around like normal. This is just a normal volleyball game. Even from point one, she made an unreal dig on the first point of the game, and then she got a dig later in that same rally, and then we ended up killing a ball. And it kind of, I'm not going to say settled us down because it was the first point of the game, but I don't know. It's just when you see somebody making those plays and not looking at balls that who normally runs around, and you could, again, her first college match on the road, it was just like, it was kind of like nerve easing a little bit in terms of being able to, okay, hey, we're going to be fine. And I thought Harper played pretty well. Not her best match, but I thought she kind of got herself going as the match went along. But I thought the four freshmen that played a ton, you know, I thought they did really well. And sometimes that's kind of how you gauge your team, right, is I think everyone can see we're going to lean on some freshmen, so how those guys develop. And, yeah, I thought they handled their first road trip pretty well.
You and I were talking before we started recording. One of the questions that Lauren Cook-West asked Coach Cook last night in the post-game interview was about Lexi Rodriguez, and maybe looked a little off last night. But you were saying that a lot of it is that what you're asking Lexi to do is maybe a little bit more than what she has in the past.
Yeah. First, I think Kansas State served the ball really well. Served it really, really tough, especially early in the match. I thought they did a really good job of moving their serves around too. But yeah, I'm the biggest advocate that I think Lexi's the best libero in the country. I've told her that. I think she's been the best libero since she's probably stepped into college volleyball. Probably going to take some heat for saying that, but that's okay. We're asking her, my biggest critique of her is Nebraska volleyball is better off over a long period of time, Lexi, when you take more first contacts, whether it's digging on defense or in serve receive. So we're asking her to expand her range in terms of, quote unquote, maybe this ball, this serve is this person's ball, but if you can get there, you have the veto card of, no, that can be your ball. So we're asking her to spread, I guess, get outside her comfort zone a little bit. And not that she doesn't take that many balls already. We're asking her to do more, take more. And sometimes that leaves you up for, you know, if you take more balls, there's more chances of you not passing as well. But even when Lexi doesn't pass as well, it frees up Harper to go and hit. It frees up Lindsay to go and hit. It frees up Merritt to go and hit. Allie, whoever's in there. And over a long period of time, we're better when Lexi passes the ball. and that's why we try to rearrange our serve receive to where she spends a lot of time in the middle. Because when she's in the middle, she can help both players, versus when she's only in right back, when they serve it over to left back, she can't realistically get all the way over there. So we try to rearrange our serve receive to, one, allow her to, okay, hey, they're lining this person up, slide in the seam, and if you want to move them, get them out of your way. You know, and that's my biggest thing with Lexi, is making sure she can take more balls and people aren't taking balls from her. So when you do that, again, it's, use the basketball analogy, when you ask somebody to shoot 4 threes and they make 2 of them, they shoot 50%. When they're shooting 50% from the three-point line, you're going to ask them to shoot more. But when you ask them to shoot more, they're going to miss more. You know, and I think that's one thing we're asking Lexi, and we're okay with it to a degree. And then, you know, as some of the freshmen, you know, get better and get used to it, maybe they can take a little more, and that makes Lexi more efficient. But, you know, we're asking Lindsay and Harper, especially Harper Murray, to serve, play defense, pass, block, and hit. Maybe not their priorities, maybe aren't in that order I just listed them. But, you know, we're asking a freshman to do a lot over a long season, and people are going to serve her volleyballs. You know, we're asking Lexi, like, hey, you're more capable right now. Harper's a great passer, and she's going to be a really good passer over time. But one thing I know is Lexi Rodriguez, and I think the whole country knows, Lexi Rodriguez is a great passer. You know, she didn't maybe have her best game yesterday, but again, we're asking her to do a lot. And even if she didn't have her best game yesterday, we're still going to ask her to do a lot. And we're not going to rein that kid in, because, again, at the end of the day, we're better off when Lexi Rodriguez takes a lot of first contacts. You know, so I'm going to live with that kid whether she misses or not, because I believe in her.
Well, you guys got a couple big ones coming up, starting with Creighton and top 25 matchup. Get to have them home here inside Devaney. What have you guys seen out of them? Have you started diving into prep for Creighton yet?
Yeah, a lot of returners from last year. I haven't watched a ton of them. I'm going to go do that actually this afternoon. But Nora Sis is one of the best outsides in the country, flat out. She's going to get a ton of sets. I mean, she had, like, I think she probably had almost 200 swings over the weekend if you combine their 3 matches. Ava Martin has been lighting it up. Big fan of their setter Wait. She's a gifted setter, but just a really, honestly, fun volleyball player to watch. And I think people that are going to watch the game this week on Wednesday or come to the Devaney Center, you'll get to see, like, how fun of a team they are to watch play, because they play with kind of a fun style. They set the ball fast. They have people that fly around. They're going to set some balls at the back row that, you know, and Norris is going to get a lot of swings. And if you don't already know her name, you're going to know her name probably after Wednesday. Hopefully we can kind of handle her a little bit. But yeah, just in the pride of, hey, it's such a great volleyball state. Obviously last Wednesday, I think if people didn't know that it was a great volleyball state after last Wednesday, now they do. I think even non-volleyball fans now know. But one of our goals that we came up with is we want to be state champions, you know? So we already played one of the teams in our state, and now we kind of have the state championship game on Wednesday. So we're kind of looking at it. That's a big goal for us, kind of like a football rivalry game, you know? And it's a really good team, and it's a really good test for our young, you know, our young squad, especially some of the players on our team that are, you know, this is kind of this is going to be their first Creighton match. And, you know, and again, Creighton had some nice wins already, and they're a really good team, and they're coming in playing some really good volleyball.
It was a fascinating conversation, and that was just a small portion. We went over 30 minutes today just diving into coaching Lexi Rodriguez, Andy Jackson, how good she's been, and what they've seen out of her, and really dove into previewing Creighton and Long Beach State. So lots of good stuff there. It's out now on all of our YouTube channel, our podcast platforms, The Dig with Jaylen, Reyes. You can listen to the full conversation now.
Good stuff. Great there. Again, John Cook's next radio show Thursday night, hour number 1. Folks, buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Our phone line's wide open for you, though, 402-413-2400. You can fire off a call or a text. We're back with more next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland, and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbrothers.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
Okay, men, huddle up. Look, we're playing one of the best football teams in the country today, and quite frankly, we don't have a chance against these guys. Let's face it, we're going to get slaughtered out there. But the good news is that the Nebraska Lottery has scratch and lotto prizes that any one of us could win.
Yeah!
After the game, we're taking the team bus to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer to see if we can win big.
Let's go!
So let's get out there and lose with pride.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid mineral with protein or Sweet Pro block supplements for space feeding, while also stretching your forages up to 25% better, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear.
Live reports of a polar bear on the loose.
Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we prioritize our customers and promise an honest experience from start to finish. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and experience for yourself why we are Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFlyLNK.com and book your trip today. Let's go.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We are making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here. It is a Monday night, 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the program. Great to hear from Jaylen Reyes. Again, the whole podcast is up. Got a text coming in. Do you know why neither Kennedy nor Caroline Juravicius got into the game in the stadium? I think they're trying to redshirt Caroline.
That's what I thought. I've heard that too.
And Kennedy, I don't know. That's a question. Great question for John Cook on Thursday night.
Yep, for sure.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say. I can't speculate. I didn't ask that question, but make sure and text that in on Thursday night.
He mentioned Kennedy when he did his post-game television about how she made some comment about what a great day this was. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I got emotional about it when he was talking about it. So
he was very emotional all day.
It was an emotional thing, you know. It meant so much, and to see how far it's come, and I think having a lot of those alumni there. I mean, I wasn't even there, and I got emotional. So it meant so much to so many people, and the people that really came in and were didn't have jerseys. They were talking about that and had to basically beg people to go over for free after the football game. We heard Coach Pettit talking about just so many ways they had to fight so hard to build it to where it is today, and then for it to set a world record. It meant so much to so many people. So I thought it was neat that he showed that emotion. It was hard for him to contain it.
Have several people that have texted and said, okay, now you've had a volleyball match in the stadium. How about moving softball over here?
I've been asked that a lot because I know that Patty Gasso, she was one of the first coaches to say once Nebraska announced that they were going to be playing a volleyball game inside Memorial that, hey, maybe we could do that at Oklahoma, is what Patty Gasso was saying. And so, I've had now several people say, well, Oklahoma going to try to do it. Maybe Oklahoma softball would come up here, Oklahoma versus Nebraska inside the stadium. It would be neat. Surely, I think there would be a lot of people show up for Jordy Ball as well.
All right, let's head to the phones. Let's go up to Omaha. Monty, you're up next here on Sports Night. Good evening.
Hey, good evening. Colorado's offense, Colorado quarterback. Why can't Nebraska run that 4-3 defense against Colorado? I think that would work, don't you?
Well, I think Nebraska's going to run their defense. I think they'll learn a lot, Monty, by watching what TCU did. They run a similar style defense as Nebraska. So I think they'll learn a lot by some things that maybe did work or didn't work against them. So I think Nebraska will go to school on that.
Yeah, but do you see Colorado passing as much as they did against TCU?
Absolutely. That's what they're going to do. They're going to throw it all day. They're going to get off the bus throwing it.
You don't think Colorado's going to run the ball at all?
Well, I mean, they'll probably stick some run games plays in there, but Deion wants his kid to be the guy, and he's a good quarterback. He's got great mechanics. You play to your strengths. They're going to throw the ball a lot.
And then what do you think on the other side of the ball when Nebraska gets the ball? I would think if the running game is working for you, stick with the running game, eat clock. Don't you agree?
I agree, Monty, absolutely. And I think, that was the plan when Nebraska got the ball back with about 6 minutes to go. They had a 9-yard run with Anthony, and he fumbled the football. But that was the plan late. Run the ball, run the clock, win the game. And then the fumble came up and kind of changed the whole thing. But I think running the football will be a big part of Nebraska's plan on Saturday. Mike in Grand Island tuned in late, so I don't know if anybody's mentioned this. TCU played very soft coverage. DB's about 10 yards off. Simple pitch and catch for Colorado. That cannot be our strategy or it's trouble. Tony White, I'm sure, has gone to school watching what TCU did, and he's going to adjust.
Absolutely. I think Tony White has done a really good job of that throughout his career, and he will have a good game plan. And that's how this defense is built, to be able to match up. And, it's going to be a great opportunity for those defensive backs that, like you said, they're going to throw it all over. And so let's Quentin Newsome, I know that the Colorado wide receivers have gotten a lot of hype, but Quentin Newsome, we've heard over and over again, is a pro. So let's see how he does. When you wanted to talk about a guy that putting on film against players that are going to play at the next level, this is a great opportunity for these young defensive backs.
That's exactly right. This will be one that the scouts will pour over. How did you do against this high-powered attack, and how did you hold up in that? So that's a great point. And Q will rise up.
I think so, too.
He will rise his game up. We are inside the Acres Broadcast Center. Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. We are back with weekend winners. We'll do that next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here, too. And we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name, too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Kids eat free in September at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee to celebrate National Family Meals Month. That's right, get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under can choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, chicken tenders, and more. Bring the family together. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day in September.
Dine in only. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Back for our final segment of our Monday show. Time for our weekend winners. We have a request from Cole to go first.
Okay. We'll let him.
Yep. All right. My weekend winner, Keisei Tominaga. I think this was Friday that he had a game with Japan against Cape Verde. He scored 22 points in that game and helped Japan grab an Olympic bid.
They will be in the Olympic tournament next summer.
He's been the winner a lot on this show.
He has been.
And deservedly so.
The Hooligan, Camden, next.
I
I'm going with Fox in Big Noon Kickoff as my winner of the weekend. They took a chance with Colorado in Week 1 with the Coach Prime hype against TCU, and it was a really fun game to watch, and Colorado ended up surprising a lot of people. And so now they got Colorado again, so they put like a 2-week little thing on him, and so now they have him against Nebraska. And I think the amount of people watching that game is going to go through the roof, so I think the people at Fox are looking pretty smart right now.
That's a good call. That's
Yeah,
a good
I
call.
like that.
I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. That's a big win for them.
And I think their ratings were really good too. I saw a tweet about it. I think they were pretty high.
Well, have our numbers come out? They have to have, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I didn't see it either.
So
has to be. It's 4 days ago.
You got to think it's out.
All right. What do you have?
Okay, I am going to go with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin's dog, Juice, who was the T retriever in their win over Mercer. And if you've seen any of the video, it's hilarious. Boy, he scoots out there, he gets the tee, he runs back. He's a good boy. So
good for him.
Yeah. So going to get the tee off of kickoffs is Juice. It's a yellow lab named Juice. And he's the team's tree
I wonder
retriever.
if he's going to do that all season, or was that just a one-time game?
I don't know. But boy, he ran right out there and got it, and he booked it out there too.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You know, the groundskeeper at Charles Schwab in Omaha, the home of the College World Series, he has a dog, and they're out there working on the field, and that dog is just kind of walking around all the time out of the field. All right, my winner, American male tennis stars. 3 of them into the Final 8 at the U.S. Open. That hasn't happened in almost 20 years. Francis Tiafoe, who is, they call him Baby James because he looks a little bit like LeBron, not nearly as tall as LeBron. Ben Shelton, who's a Florida Gator, and Taylor Fritz. So American men's tennis, which has been kind of a laughing stock really since Andy Roddick won the Open back almost 20 years ago. They have 3 in the Final 8. I don't think any of the 3 win it, but 3 of the last 8.
That's good. At least there's something there to root for and cheer for if you're Americans. But I can't believe nobody picked soccer, which I know that they've been winners here too. Yep. But they just are dominating. They outscored opponents 9-0 over the weekend.
Well, Eleanor Dale was my winner Friday.
Yeah, she was. You had them, and they're up in the top 24 or top 25 now, ranked 24. They're outscoring opponents 22-4 this season.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive. Well, and they again have 2 matches at home this week. UC Davis on Thursday night at 7 out at Hibner Stadium. The weather's supposed to cool off later this week, so a good chance for you to get out there.
I do think they're having big promotions out there this weekend, too. On Sunday, they have a lot of fun things going on. So look up that and get out there and support the team. What were you going to say?
We got NFL football in 3 days. You're getting a lot of people in the chat room who are warning you about the crowds you're going to see this weekend in Boulder.
Yes, I've been told that a lot, to be careful and not wear red. But I'm rocking with it.
You're going to go with it?
I'm going to roll with it.
Well, you do have a lot of big bodies around you that will protect you.
I know.
On the Husker sideline.
And here's my thing, too. I have a really strong feeling there's going to be a lot of other red in there besides myself.
So yeah, there will be.
I'll have some protection there with some Husker fans, I would think.
How about 10 a.m. kicking off local time?
That's
Weird.
Kind of terrible, but
I mean, the sun's probably just going to be kind of right at our eyes.
I'm excited to see a game there. I've never been there, and I've heard the atmosphere is great, so I'm excited, but I will be ready. I'll be prepared to take some really mean things said to me.
Good. All right, tomorrow night on the program, Tony White, our football show, the Husker defensive coordinator, will be here in hour number 1. We'll also play a little bit of Jeremiah's latest sideline slice with Searles tomorrow night. Get his initial thoughts about the first game and looking ahead to the Colorado game. That's always a treat to hear from him.
And he's going to be on the call.
He's going to be on the call. He's
from
with
Colorado.
Me. Yep.
A lot of people wanted him to be a Buffalo, so I can't wait. He's going to have a great time, and we'll get a preview of it tomorrow with him on the sideline slice.
Looking forward to that. Thanks to Camden and to Cole and to all of you for listening tonight. Again, I hope you had a wonderful, restful Labor Day weekend. Back to the grind tomorrow for all of you. We'll be here tomorrow night to entertain you as well. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
No profession requires a broader range of skills and sense than farming. Being self-sufficient is critical, and so is knowing when to lean on experts. If adding acres to your operation or refinancing debt is part of your plan, Dakota Mac can help you get there. We provide long-term, fixed-rate loans for ag real estate. You owe it to yourself to learn how Dakota Mac can benefit your operation.
Hi, it's Boyd Minery from Dakota Mac. Call me at 402-463-4637 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup